Thank you. So I think the first thing to say is relocation or acquiring a second passport isn't a new thing for Nigerian families. I think the key difference in this day and age is the complexities of the tax systems of different jurisdictions, which seem to be constantly evolving. When my parents moved to the UK, the naira and the pound was 1-to-1. So there wasn't the same currency considerations. The tax system was less complex. The immigration system was less complex. And so I think the level of advice that's now needed in order to make efficient strategic moves has changed. I just want to talk about some of the tax considerations which families should now be thinking about if they are looking to relocate or acquire a second passport or citizenship from a tax risk perspective. I appreciate there's a number of other considerations which you have to look at. But I think it's important to just understand your international tax footprint. As Femi said, as the panelists said earlier, we are becoming borderless. We have families where the patriarch is based in Lagos, the business is established in Dubai, you have children in the UK, you have grandchildren in the US, and so fundamentally your citizenship will not change the tax liabilities that you have in those local jurisdictions, and so it's important that you understand the shifts and changes that happen everywhere where you have a tax footprint, because that may have a significant impact on where you choose to be a citizen or where you would like to have a second passport.
I would say the first mistake that most Nigerian HNIs make is something we've already discussed, not fully understanding the residency rules of the different jurisdictions. So for example, Nigeria is a country that taxes you on your worldwide income. And now, with the non-dom rules in the UK, you could also be taxed on your worldwide income. So just doing cross-border transactions or relocating or doing things like that and you could become tax residents in multiple countries, in multiple jurisdictions, and be taxed all over the place, reducing the value of your capital base, eroding that value. And also, when you are tax residents in multiple countries, there is now automatic exchange of information. This means that there's a risk of you under-declaring your income and your assets in another jurisdiction. So for example, historically, a lot of people would just say they're filing their taxes in Nigeria, they'll just declare their Nigerian assets, Nigerian income, but then they wouldn't talk about any foreign assets or income. But now with the automatic exchange of information, that is a huge mistake, because eventually they will find out. When they find out, it becomes a bigger issue, audits, red flags, generally.
This is one of the reasons why you should definitely consider tax advice. So you can imagine you may have to actually compare your exposure between 40% inheritance tax and 27% capital gains tax, because you're actually transferring your assets and not waiting to your demise to actually pay the 40% tax. So these are very important things. And like she said, it's not one size fits all. It has to be bespoke, and you need to really consider your own situation, because every situation is peculiar. I think it's very important for us to go away with that. If you think about it, taxes are revenues for countries, okay? That's one way that countries, earn revenue to build infrastructure and do a lot of things. I know there is the argument of what do they do with my taxes? Yes, there's an argument for that. But if you also think about it, even in other jurisdictions where they say there are zero taxes and all of that, think about it. What's the incentive? Bring your money in. When you bring your money in, you're creating employment. You're boosting the economy, okay? So one way or the other, there will be flow of money, okay, from different jurisdictions. So the focus should really be about how do I optimize my position, again, based on what I really want to achieve. Again, prioritize your objectives.